the United States was responsible for a massacre that killed and injured many innocent Puerto Ricans. And some people commented, are you going to talk about the Puerto Ricans that shot up Congress? And this is what they're talking about.
They should have blew it up.
Puerto Rican nationalists opened fire in the House chamber and displayed the Puerto Rican flag. They didn't kill anyone, but they did injure 5 Congress members. What you might not know is that at least one of the shooters was in part radicalized because of that massacre that happened almost 20 years before. That was Rafael Cancel Miranda. See, he was only 7 years old when that first massacre happened, but he says he remembers his mom coming home with her wet dress covered in blood because she had to drag herself over the bodies of the victims. In an interview, he said, "That's when I knew we had an enemy." And he went on to resist U.S. rule in Puerto Rico. He went to prison because he refused to be drafted into the U.S. military and serve in the Korean War, and he participated in the shooting in Congress. Up until the end of his life, he said he did not regret it.
Hubiera que hacerlo, volvería a hacer. Nos asesinan democráticamente, pero tú no puedes levantarle la vista porque estás cometiendo un acto de terror.
This man went through so much to see family members dying in the massacre on March 21st, 1937, and to see his mother's dress full of blood. He went through a lot. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, the Puerto Ricans on that island, the Boricuas on that island, been fighting for independence, and all of them wind up dead or sentenced to prison time, ridiculous prison time. So it's just been a lot going on. It's always 2 sides of the story. People think, oh, because they ran up in the Capitol in 1954. Okay, so there's always 2 sides of the story. Why did they run up in the Capitol? You're killing them. One thing I can say about Boricuas, they've been fighting hard, and especially Pedro Albizu Campos paid the most. Y'all gotta research Pedro Albizu Campos, how they burned him and tortured him in prison for fighting independence. Pedro Albizu Campos knew 8 languages and graduated from Harvard Law School. You notice that education is the main weapon, and he had it. Pedro Albizu Campos also helped the Irish people win some type of power in their country, and I'm gonna get that information. Pedro Albizu Campos was for anybody and everybody who was for equal rights and freedom for all. So there's always 2 sides of the story, and that island has taken so much abuse. The last murder, the FBI murder, Filiberto Ojeda Rios in 2005. That was one of the most vicious murders for independence. These people stay dying for our country, and it's sad so many people don't know because it's whitewashed. I wish Pedro Albizu Campos would have slid his way in Congress and won and play these people. He had to play chess with the Americans. But this is some history that Boricuas need to learn and pass it on. And Americans, period. Because Boricuas died in World War I and every war ever since, and they're not recognized. So if you are really American and you see that they forced the Puerto Ricans to fight for World War I and they still can't vote for president on the island, if you're a real American, if you're a real person of God or Christianity or whatever you think, your belief, you would know to fight for your people too, because Boricuas are Americans.